Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of December, and oh my God, aren't we all glad? We're coming to the end of the year for 2020. What a monumental year for radical shifts and changes, and it's not over. So before I begin, I do want to say that you can always sign up for my free newsletter off my website. And in this newsletter, you will get all of the dates, all of the times, everything I'm talking about in explicit detail, all sent to your email address. So you can go over everything I'm talking about and then even some more information. So sign up for my free newsletter on galacticcenter.org. And I want to remind everyone, we are talking about the sidereal zodiac here, not the Western tropical zodiac. And one last thing, we are coming upon the holidays, and I have to brag about my beautiful jewelry line, because what I have are these incredible malas where you really insert your intention through mantra work or through healing works of affirmations. These are powerful tools for transformation. So check it out on my website. All of that is on galacticcenter.org. And I have some new exciting pieces, the sun and the moon. And here we have the moonstone. That's like in a choker. They're really symbolic to remind you of what we're here to do with intention. And I've got the new earrings on, but this new mala is exceptionally beautiful with semi-precious stones to do your prayer work with. So let's begin. Let's talk about what this ending, I think it's going to be like a crescendo, that this year is coming to a close with sort of like the grand finale. This is going to be an extraordinarily eventful month. So let me start digging in with the fact that there is a solar eclipse that's going to be happening December 14th. And this solar eclipse is at 28 degrees of Scorpio, 2859 to be exact. So it's just right there at 29 degrees. That degree mark is Gandanta. What have I told everyone about Gandanta planets? They give a sense of being out of control because I was always taught they're relative to drowning. So it feels like everyone is drowning and they can't get control of their lives. And this is happening globally in the world, that these major changes are coming about and we can't get a grasp on things. This really does predict a major transformational change. Now, another thing, Gandanta, since it does equate to drowning, realize that there can actually be major severe storms and events that seem out of control. And when I come to the area of earthquakes, always there is an increase on seismic activity in the world, therefore earthquakes. You're going to find that everything feels out of control this month. Now, another thing that's going on around the time of this eclipse, we have a Kala Sarpa yoga. What is a Kala Sarpa yoga? It's when all the planets are on one side of Rahu and Ketu. And it really represents the entrapment of karmas. So there is some specific, powerful, incredible karmas that are striking all of us in the world. We're all entrapped in this. And yes, the coronavirus, that was extraordinarily karmic. I have a lot to discuss with you about that. And another thing is, what else are we going to be contending with this month? It's the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. They come together December 21st. And they're going to come together amazingly around 6 degrees of Capricorn, which is the degree that Mars and Saturn conjoined March 31st, 2020. That was the day the stock market dropped. Now, I've got a lot to talk about with the stock market because this is the craziest market we've ever seen. Every condition in the world doesn't announce that the stock market should be where it's at. But I've got a lot to say about that because when Jupiter and Saturn come together, and they're going to come together at that 6 degree mark on December 21st. You're going to see a big switch in the markets. Now, it's going to stay volatile. And I want you to know that because of the impending vaccine that's beginning to be distributed by the end of the year, there's going to be some radical rises with the stock market. I've been saying that ever since Jupiter entered into Capricorn, which was November 20th. You're going to see some rises with the stock market, but everything is like going up. But be very careful because I believe as soon as Jupiter leaves Capricorn, which is April 5th of 2021, there can be another dramatic shift. And I think we're headed for a down cycle. After the big rise and excitement, there's going to be some changes in the second half of the year. But watch where it goes from here through March. Especially, I've been saying February, March, it's going to be high. It's going to be going out the roof. So if that's one of your interests, pay attention. This is something you need to take advantage of. The other thing that's going wild is cryptocurrency. In one of my videos, definitely said that cryptocurrency was going to react like it did the year that it went from about $9, from 9,000 to 20,000 by December. And that's where we are again. It's happening. And I know that cryptocurrency, I always said it's not going to go away. It's the wave of the future. Absolutely the wave of the future. So you're going to see how it's about to all change and take off. So watch for that. Cryptocurrency is on a rise, but I've got a lot more to say about that, but just watch it rise towards the end of this year. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to talk about is Mars being in Pisces. You see, this is huge. Mars stationed to go direct in Pisces November 14th, at 21 degrees of Pisces. Now, Pisces is the opposing sign to Virgo. And my research discovered that whenever Mars went retrograde in the sign of Virgo, there was a catastrophic pandemic. Let me go back. 1918, the Spanish flu that killed 50 million people, Mars had gone retrograde in Virgo. And in the cycle of Mars retrograde, it pretty much every 2 years it goes retrograde, and every 2 years it moves up one sign in the zodiac, progressing forward in the natural zodiac. So it takes about 16 to 17 years for it to go through all of the signs and return. So by the time it returns to Virgo, there's always some kind of crises around health. Looking at that, I talked about the 1918 pandemic. Mars went retrograde in Virgo right around that time. Then coming forward around the time of the AIDS virus, it went retrograde again in Virgo. Then right around 2014, when we had the Ebola breakout, Mars went retrograde in Virgo. And I actually did a video on my YouTube channel concerning this, talking about how there was going to be a health crisis like a pandemic, and that's when Ebola hit. So now that Mars is in the opposing sign Pisces, aspecting fully Virgo, That's why we have a spike in the coronavirus happening as we speak. But Mars will leave Pisces the 24th of December. And during that time, you're going to see where things start to change and get back slowly to normal. And my prediction is we will feel a sense of freedom and the light by March. So get ready. We're all moving in this direction, but the beginning, very beginning, you may not see any evidence of it, but the beginning is going to be when Mars enters Aries. But right before Mars enters Aries, this is going to be December 21st through the 24th. Mars is Gandanta. What does that mean? Out of control. Things are out of control. And now we have the prospect of everything that's happening with the government in the United States. With everything that's happening, we have got a solar eclipse, 29 degrees Scorpio. I can't help but notice that sits exactly on Donald Trump's moon. Donald Trump was born under a lunar eclipse. The sun Rahu in the 10th house, the moon Ketu in the 4th house. And in reality, this eclipse crossing over his moon is 28 degrees of Scorpio. That's where the eclipse occurs. What do you think that means? Well, Ketu is losses. So yes, emotionally, he is feeling dark and a deep loss. But Rahu is in his 10th house. As I said, he's going to come into power. Maybe not the presidency. I guarantee you he's not going away. Much to all of your surprise. He's not going away, and actually he's coming into a more powerful position. That's what this chart reads. And you know, he's been talking about doing some kind of network because I believe his whole mission and purpose is to expose things. And I know a lot of people think it's all crazy, it's all conspiracy. With him having a nodal return, Rahu hitting Rahu in the 10th house, hitting his sun in the 10th house, he's not going away. And he feels a sense of urgency and purpose to bring to light all the things that have been hidden. And don't forget, eclipses bring to light all that is hidden. This eclipse is special. Why? It's in Scorpio. Scorpio is relative to the 8th house because it's the 8th sign, digging up all the scandals and things that have been hidden for so many years. And I'm talking some dark stuff from the past, okay? This is the mission. I get the sense that possibly there's going to be a big turn of events. Probably by looking at Biden's chart on Inauguration Day, the Jupiter, Saturn, the Sun, all of those planets will be in the 10th house of Joe Biden's moon, from his natal moon. And that would breed success. But on Inauguration Day, we have the Mars conjunct Uranus exactly. What it appears will change quite dramatically, and there's going to be a lot that comes after that. So Inauguration Day is the most extreme day that's riddled with so much unpredictable events, catastrophic, and my prediction is there's going to be a government that is underground and a government that is outward. So one is covert, one is overt. But realize this, 50% of the United States was rooting for Trump, while the other 50% for Biden. And it's not going to change. They're not going to accept. The Trump supporters are not going to accept Biden. The Biden supporters, of course, are going to not accept Trump. We have a big divide. Pluto is coming to 0 degrees of Capricorn. This is the cardinal axis, and that always represents radical shifts and changes. What is the cardinal axis? When Pluto goes to a cardinal sign, 0 degrees, which is what? It will be Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra. The last time that Pluto was at 0 degrees of a cardinal sign, it would have been 0 Libra, which was 1981. And you can see that was the start of the Reagan era. So it represents massive change in the government. And this massive change deals with a split and a divide because of this eclipse, because of the Gandanta, because of the Kala Sarpa, which represents karma. And on top of that, Pluto is making a return in the United States chart. The United States started approximately 244 years ago. Pluto takes that long to come back, go through all 12 signs of the zodiac, and it's now made a return. What is that? Wow, that means transformational change in the biggest sense of the word. The United States is going to go through the biggest change ever, and it's going to have to go through some crises and chaos to get there, but a lot of secrets are being uncovered along the way. And this does indicate things that we never thought possible, never ever thought possible going on in this world. This is a promise. So another thing is, while Jupiter was transiting with Pluto through Sagittarius previously, this was really fundamentalist beliefs. Everyone is polarized by their beliefs, and this conditions everyone's mind. There is a split. But what's at the core essence that's really causing this split? The media. And I am foreseeing major changes that will have to be implemented on the media coming up here really, really soon. And you know, with Pluto being in the same sign as Saturn, you know there's great destruction. And I do feel like with once we have Jupiter leave the sign with Saturn after April, we're due for a big depression. But I will give you a lot of clues with that when I give you my update for 2021. We're not there yet. December has enough events to feel so much. I mean, this is the craziest month that's coming about. So here's another thing. I believe that all of this recounting of votes, it is going to favor Trump. It is. But will it make a difference? It's going to be ignored. There is a mass population that are controlling things. It'll be ignored, but will Trump concede? Probably not. How's that going to look? A president that never conceded? History in the making, I must say. So one more thing, when we look at that eclipse happening in his 4th house, in Donald Trump's 4th house, remember that's called the seat of power. So underneath the surface, I believe he's becoming more powerful, and maybe that's not the position of a president, because a president has rules to abide by. He won't have the rules anymore. You're going to see that his old purpose and destiny are coming to fruition. So I believe that's his destiny. And with Rahu on his Rahu, he's got a destiny all his own. So he's not going away. As much as everyone wants him to out there, He's not going away. But here's another thing that depicts great scandals and secrets. This eclipse is at 25 degrees of Taurus Scorpio. And guess what sits at the midpoint? 24, 25 degrees. Neptune. And Neptune is always about deceit, denial, and scandals, secrets from the darker side. Furthermore, at the time of this eclipse, K2 will be 25 degrees of Scorpio. Mercury is 25 degrees of Scorpio with this eclipse. What does that tell you? There's losses concerning the area of what? Communications. And in the United States chart, if I place that in the United States chart, it ends up in the 12th house, which means foreigners, foreign lands, they're controlling, they're seeping into many of the communications and probably technologies that the United States has. All the secrets come out, all the secrets are taken. And furthermore, the 12th house can be secret enemies and attacks. And I see even this month signs of attacks coming. So a lot is about to happen all this month, this chaos that we're about to go through with this year. So what can we do? This is the holiday season. This is the season we're to come together, but with the coronavirus, we're asked not to. But we are, for the most part, most of us with our immediate family. And one of the things that I think the coronavirus is teaching us is to heal the family unit, because that's why nations are torn apart, because the families are. So it trickles down. This is the core. This is the basis of what we're all about, family. And this is where a healing has to happen with family. And so during this time of separation, polarization, and anger, what are we to do? We're to heal it. We're to find our healing within our family unit and come together, try to understand where people stand and what they believe. This is so important. People need to be heard, and voicing your opinion and feeling superior that your beliefs are better alienates you, because that's the ego. You have to understand where people are coming from, hear them out, have compassion and understanding, but this starts on the family core essence level during these holidays. Heal these relationships. Come to a place where you understand where people are coming from. Because remember what I always say, the only thing that ever heals and what we're here to learn on this planet is the power of love. Unconditional love. When you come from this place, you heal all disease, fights, anger, hostility, separation, all of those things dissolve. When you come from a place of unconditional love, and that means unity. We have to come together, unite, not separate, and always try to understand why someone feels the way they do. Give them credit. Don't just say there's something wrong with you. Mentally, there's something wrong with you. That's not healing. And that's what's happening. But if you break apart from that and you really get in touch with the heart energy, feel the heart, know that that's where the essence of God resides, and that will connect you to your loved ones in your family. There's no room for fighting, alienation, especially about politics. That is so irrelevant. Here you are concerned about people you don't even know. And it's ruining some of the family get-togethers and feelings. That is insane. Get out of your righteousness and your beliefs and your sense of superiority that your beliefs are better than others, because they're not. come from a place of love and compassion. And this is going to be what I call the year of healing family members. This is an opportunity. So your immediate family is everything. And this is the place where you can start to heal your life. And this is the place where you will have an effect on the world. So that's my message here. And always remember that you don't have control over others and you can't necessarily change how they feel. So focus on the way you feel. And if you come from a place of love and compassion, that is what's going to be mirrored back to you. There's nothing more healing and more powerful than that. And with that, not only do you heal yourself, your family, but this has a ripple effect on the world. That's what we're all here to do. And remember, that's the message of 2020. So just to give a little recap, there's a few dates I want to give. December 10th, Venus enters Scorpio, which tells me there's going to be a healing towards health matters, getting deep and understanding the truth. December 11th is going to be when the Sun conjuncts K2. There's a sense of loss going on globally in the world at this time. Be aware. Then, of course, I've spoken volumes about this solar eclipse on December 14th. Things will come out of the dark we didn't know. And it may have an effect on a switcheroo with the presidential elections. We will see, because that is a time of radical shifts and changes. And I think that's the day that they have to come together with the Supreme Court. Interesting, it's the day of the solar eclipse. We will see. Then I'm looking at December 17th. Mercury will enter Sagittarius. Sagittarius can deal with fundamental thoughts and ideas. Stay away from being so opinionated and hurtful. By December 21st, remember that's when Jupiter and Saturn can join at 6 degrees of Capricorn. There'll be a big change with the economy. And remember that December 23rd, Mars will square Pluto. And this will be at 29 degrees of Pisces Sagittarius. Siskandanta, there could be some major attacks happening. And remember, I do see attacks happening this month on world leaders, especially around the time that December 11th happens. So December 24th, Mars will finally enter Aries, and this is a healing, finally, of the coronavirus. December 29th, there's a full moon in Gemini, and it is in the nakshatra Ardra. Symbol is a teardrop. There is great sadness that's happening in the world at this time, possibly over losses around some world leaders. Okay? And then by December 30th is the day that Pluto enters Capricorn. That's profound. Profound things are happening, splitting and changing the government. Secrets will be revealed. And then by the very last day, yes, the very last day, December 31st, Venus will conjunct K2, which is another indication of sadness that will be over the world. So, as I said, this month is monumental. You're going to see a roller coaster ride. Get ready. Things are about to change dramatically. And focus on what you have control over: yourself, your family, giving love, appreciation, understanding, and compassion. So with that, I'd like to close. So remember, if you want to learn Vedic astrology, come join our university. We have the most phenomenal family and group of astrologers, and you will become a Vedic astrologer joining my university. We have a new start date. Yes. We're going to start semester 1, the live videos, which we have live videos every week on Zoom. We all talk about world events, and besides the 40 videos that are pre-recorded, you take tests, you get a live tutor. This is the only university that gives you all of this. So check it out. If you're interested in learning Vedic astrology, this is the answer. Check it out. Go to my website, University of Vedic Astrology.com, and don't forget to check out my website to look at my new jewelry line, as well as to sign up for my newsletter, and that is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.